Hello, this is HasturHasturHastur,
And I'm Yuuzhan.
and we're doing a review of this funny game that we had a little while ago.
So, we are playing on Arctic Refuge, as anyone who plays the game can see.
And this was with a 20-minute no-rush timer. Our enemies were Hex 5 and F2K-CD. Yuuzhan's up here, and I'm stuck in this corner. Now, I don't really like Arctic Refuge because you've got 3 roads into your base, and a 4th if you're actually playing it as an FFA. So it's not really that defensible.
I, on the other hand, find that leads to some pretty interesting games when free-for-alling.
Especially
But-
this one.
Yeah, but doesn't make a great map for team games.
We both almost immediately started teching towards mass conversion. He's got a bit of an advantage because he's playing as Cybern, and Cybern power generators have mass conversion built in, whereas I actually have to build mass converters.
So, I almost always tech directly to mass converters before anything else, sometimes even before building units, just because I find it really helps to get my economy going.
This is 10 minutes in so far. We're running at times 10 speed. F2KCD started building Fat Boys, and Hex 5 had 10 air factories up with shielded fighter bombers coming out.
Alright. So, I'm still teching, but if you can see, I'm just laying down 2 guy entries. I decided to go a mass Soul Ripper build. Now, Soul Rippers are one of the best units in this game, and if you pull off a mass Soul Ripper build, if you survive long enough to build them up, they are one of the most overpowered strategies. Both Hastur and I were playing random this game,
Yeah.
by the way. Slow down the timer. Slow it down 2 times 2.
2, okay. I was building Fat Boys here. I think I get another gantry up in a couple minutes. And mobile missile launchers, and I think I have anti-air units coming out soon.
If you can see, we have a radar up to basically
yeah,
see
radar's
that
over
he's
here.
doing a mass air build.
Yuuzhan's
And
radar was over here.
I have a radar up. I assumed he was going mass land. I didn't know those were experimental
and
offhand.
there are the Fat Boys.
So that actually took me by surprise. And those are a lot of fat boys.
Yeah. I think when the no rush expired, I got hit with probably about, I don't know, 50 or 60 fighter bombers, but it really didn't save him. Yeah, I'm getting another gantry up right now, and if you're paying attention, I built this base up pretty quickly to begin with, just because it's important to cover the choke points with
Hard
at
to
least
pay
a token
attention when you're
force.
constantly zoomed out. Okay, go back up to my base for a moment, please.
Okay.
So, as you can see, I'm just now building my first 2 units. Oh, and I made a mistake, too. I forgot to have those engineers aid the guy entry. But I am just now getting my first 2 units. I have a single air factory with no add-ons at the moment, and I only used it to build those engineers. I also have a mini base set up, but that's
Yeah.
irrelevant.
At this point, I'm just dumping shields around my base. He's got his Air Force, he's got his Fat Boys, and mobile anti-air.
Yep. Now, I want to talk about the orange guy for a second. He was basically going a mass fighter bomber build.
Which didn't really work, because he had maybe 5 mass extractors and 10 power generators. So
His really big mistake, though, was he couldn't sustain 10 factories on that econ. There was just no way, and Hastur, as you can see, pretty much ends up tanking him. Plus,
yeah,
you never want to get
30 mobile anti-air guns tend to destroy air units pretty quickly.
But you never want to take just one type of unit, which is a mistake I made, but you'll see what happens when my units go into battle. in a
F2K's
moment.
got a 3rd factory up building Fat Boys.
So, 20 seconds. Focus on mine first, because I want to talk about the choke point for a second.
Yes.
So,
Okay, no rush expires in 10 seconds, and F2K's moving all of his Fat Boys up into this tiny choke point, which, as you can see in a couple seconds, really doesn't work.
yeah, he
no rush
hits
went.
these base, the no rush goes, he hits my most outer base. But watch this, I have exactly 2 units right now, and he has an army of experimentals.
Well, your 2 units are experimentals, too.
True, but in a straight-up fight, he wins, flat out. But watch what happens in this choke.
The Fat Boys are going through one by one.
And
They also have no air defense,
Yep.
other than these anarchists, which are not even shielded, actually.
So he marches those through one by one. Hastur is just fighting fighter bombers. Go back
Yeah.
to the choke for a second.
He took out my Fat Boy.
You can see just a couple seconds later, most of his Fat Boys go down, all of his AA goes down. 2 units manage to take out his entire force because he's marching them through one by one rather than tanking through.
Now, I
properly.
walked my Fat Boys through the undefended passage,
and basically sent his units up around.
as well
it.
as having my mobile anti-air and rockheads walk through, and I think in about a minute and a half, I get the direct fire turret for the AA guns, which is pretty useful.
So
His ACU lasts about 30 more seconds.
So, goes down and down.
Two
in the
Soul
meantime,
Rippers.
send my 2 Soul Rippers. This should illustrate the power of Soul Rippers right here, how quickly this base falls, though.
Oh, there goes his ACU.
So, that's 1 down and 1 to go.
And at this point, I pretty much thrashed his economy.
Oh, so if you look, his econ is tanked at this point. You can tell some of his factories aren't even building
None
stuff.
of his factories are... Oh, wait, no, they
Now
are.
they've
Never
started.
mind.
But, point
Didn't
is...
save him.
He couldn't keep up with that many factories, and if he had spent the units he spent on factories on, say, a couple more research stations, he might have actually stood a chance.
Or just power generators. Yeah, there goes his ACU. You know, this was a really quick game. It lasted for 5 minutes after the no-rush went.
So, I use exactly 2 units this whole game.
Well-
I build a couple more, but I use exactly 2. Hastur here uses his 2.
Yeah, eventually he gets the right idea and starts hitting my fat boys with fighter bombers.
It doesn't work.
Yep.
It's frankly just too little too late. Also, something I love about the UEF, once you've gotten your upgrades going, everything can
has a
hit
gun.
air, and everything can hit land.
Well, not factories.
Not factories or
experimental
fat boys,
factories.
but main units.
Yeah, he hasn't even managed to take out my fat boys yet.
And
then he
Hex
lost.
leaves.
No, I think he actually lost. And
Hex
then
defeated.
F2KCD just
Has also been
leaves.
defeated, and that was that. That was the game. It lasted 4 minutes and 9 seconds.
After the no-rush let. Feel free to visit our clan page, We're Forgotten Memory, on Steam, and we'll see you next time.
Hope you enjoyed the game.